7:15 p.m. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. Best grill. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse. Jeez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on who's who and what's what when it comes to the socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama, and their politics. These sort who were born with silver spoons in their mouths and who were used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd received a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent. Sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, hey, this looks like a good project I found, go send them a design, or something like that. Really, that's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. It's all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Beruthiel for you. Just please take this one project, I promise. This person is huge in Luxembourg. Johannes Rokin. This is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCullough, hereinafter called the designer. Authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client. The interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxbourne, LX180RF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on 21 October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the mail and see what I've been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward too. Anyone else would probably be excited. They would be working with the Hannah Wright. He's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune such nonsense out. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We've worked with big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA had been indifferent about those. Check the branching. So, quite a short chapter overall. So the question bounced about my skull before I spy one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxbourne Daily's business news section boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates £2.5 million to refuge. the grand opening of a new Wright Hotel last Wednesday, our local billionaire couple Luke and Hannah Wright announced the donation of £2.5 million to help Luxembourg Refuge keep their services open. Unexpected but certainly welcome, this follows only a month after the couple's previous donation of the same amount to Save the Children UK. One of the largest donations, this amount will help keep the safe house in Luxembourg open for several years. With this money, Refuge can keep helping women, children, and victims of domestic violence. There are rumors as well of the charity talking with the couple and looking into building a local center equivalent to their Gaia and Athena locations. These rumors have come to us due to one of the enterprise's employees mentioning a Project EOS. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Hello, my friend.
Hello, stream please.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I forgot.
Tayo nakupal ng kliyente ko.
But
Ilang tickets lang naman yung yung namin, ino-over namin. Nagtagal kami dahil gusto doon. Dahil pinagtitripan niya pa yung customer.
ayun.
Kasi ang bobo ng tanong, boy. Yung una, kasi nga, di ba, nasal aspirator yung namin, yung product namin.
Oh.
So, may filter siya doon sa loob para hindi pumasok yung kulangot, yung sipon na hinihigop niya papunta doon sa device.
Oh.
So, yung filters na yon, naturally, since ang hinihigop niya is yan, sipon, kulangot, kung ano man galing sa ilong mo, naturally, pinapalitan siya. Ang tanong ko naman ng customer is, can we reuse the filters if we wash them?
Saan ba gawa yung filters? Papel lang ba yun? Or...
it's a sponge, pero it's not really hygienic kasi nga pinapasok mo yun doon sa ilong eh.
Oh.
So it's not really hygienic. So why would anyone ask that? Doon, pakina pa ulit-ulit kami, tao siya ng tao. Nagtitripan yung customer. Tapos yung isa, nagtatanong kung magkakaroon ba kami ng Black Friday sale. Since it's usually naman kasi the Black Friday sales are usually flash sales, di ba? Hindi siya usually ina-announce siya 1 week before lang, parang mga ganun yung yung usual scenarios. So we told her, the customer na you'll have to wait and see on our website for updates regarding Black Friday. Promotions about Black Friday. Tapos nag-reply siya, parang, bakit hindi nyo na lang sabihin kung magkakaroon o hindi? Kami nga, hindi pa kami sure kung may Black Friday sale or not. So, ayun, pinagtripan na lang yung customer. Parang, pinaikot niya lang. Ikot-ikot yung mekos-mekos yung conversation nila about
Mekos.
Well, ay, tornado eh.
yung mga ganong klaseng dapat talaga pinagtitripan yun.
Tayo natawa ako ng tao. Tawa kami ng tao, pinagtitripan yung customer.
Anyway, maikli lang pala yung chapter ni Marianne. Mas mahaba pa kay Zap.
Oh.
Maikli lang.
Looking back at it, medyo maikli lang siya. Pero ito, since we are in the best grill chapter na, we need to get that ba yun? Yung graphic with look.
So we make iyot with look?
Yes. We need to do it for the viewers.
Iniisip ko kanina kasi Bill, diba? Nandito na tayo. Iniisip ko kanina, kasi yun eh, alam ko yun eh, na if we deny Luke sex, the relationship goes up, diba? Tapos pag naipag-sex tayo, it goes down. Iniisip ko kanina, what is the best girl? I don't want anyone to have the best girl. Pero sige, for the viewing audience, let's get it.
Yeah. Kasi naalala ko yung run ko kay Best Me. Yun din yung kay sentiments ko. So I did not give Luke the segs. But
segs, yes.
Yeah, for the viewing audience, pare. For
the viewing audience. Para spicy.
Yes.
It hurts. Apparently, they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere, in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive-looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rate. The headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because wow. Here I am, expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt, but the woman that was plastered on the front page looked like she belongs on the front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I'm to be crass, as the pinup for a glamour... Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. An epic gem.
As in meats.
He sure knows how to rock that dress. ... Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips, she can't be her. And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Matt. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. Daming ano yun, no? Daming kamukha ni Hana. Yung dating may-ari ng mansion, di ba? Kahawig niya.
Oo nga.
Tapos yung ito yung
Tapos
best friend niya, no?
Ex-best friend ni Best Green. Hey, for the viewers, look at the thing. It's an anime.
Yeah, it's an anime thing. She's a weeb.
Yan.
With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. That's the new thing.
Oh, the newspaper.
Yeah. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I could only stare until I can will myself to reply that, yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer, and leave.
Classic on the way, pa.
Okay, classic on the way. OTW, on the water. Naliligo pa lang. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head. No matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump away, and a jump from here. Hey, the crawl ball.
Hey.
The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I've moved to Luxembourg. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God in St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Bossy Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best of ways to go about it. Shrimp! Okay,
Yes, girl!
Anyway, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
Yun, no? Best grill.
Acapella, pare. Galing,
Oo
no?
nga eh. Bakit ganun yung doon sa sa image sa background nakangiti siya. Pero doon sa sprite niya kanina nakasimangot siya.
Oo nga, ayaw. Baka yun yung inner emotion niya.
Inner emotions.
But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief. Ang weird eh. No? Kumakanta siya pero ito yung iniisip niya. I mean, how do you do that?
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Ito kumukulot.
Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Yay!
Yes! Clap, clap, clap.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. Because possibly off-key, public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
So ito si Cam, Caro na.
Kaya na
Si
yung
Cam,
nag-yun.
bride to be. The one on the left. Kasi she's brandishing her wedding ring.
Yes!
Ito, tayo naman, matindot si pare, Haro na Marlboro Red.
Oo, Marlboro rin. Pare, tas naka-leather jacket pa.
Oo nga eh.
Best grill, best grill. I changed my mind. Best grill, best grill.
Haro na.
Haro na, best grill. Haro na.
That
Give
was
us
so
more haro
good.
na.
You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Ang inasarili mo mo.
Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Sino pumatay kay Magellan? That's
Boy,
the
di ako ah.
twist.
Di ako yun.
Di ako yun. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Ay,
But
puta.
enough of me being a downer.
Byuda?
Cheers to a happy engagement!
Ano ba meaning ng byuda? Widow?
Widow. Yeah.
Widow. Okay.
I think.
Basta. Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor, I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers! Cheers!
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I. Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. Loaning her money to open a studio. Tayo mayaman si Haruna.
Oo nga pare. Best free.
I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. Hey, Japanese.
Japanese. Tangina. Ano pala to? Jav pala to eh.
Yung Java. Arigato sa imong tanan. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxembourg. Clearly, it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on that first day. No, sir. Alam ba kung ano yung D20 die?
Sa D&D.
Yung 20-sided dice.
Decided,
D20.
Weeb. Nerd.
Nerd. Geek. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
That's the typical thing you would hear on a family reunion dito sa Pinas. Diba? Oo. Tanda mo na, may...
Tanda mo na. Wala ka bang balak mag-asawa?
Oo.
Sarap reply na, ikaw, tanda mo na, wala ka pa bang balak mamatay?
Yet here we are. Pero alam mo ba nung ilan ba yun? Ayun yung birthday nung dad ko, di ba? Kumain kami sa I forgot the name of the resto, pero yun, di ba, lumabas kami.
Kumain kayo sa labas,
Kasama yung family member sa father side ko. Siyempre, yung lola ko nandun din. Tapos yung lola ko, boy, puta, ini-interview ako. Para sa typical shit, bro. Ikaw, Kevin, kasi alam nila na may boyfriend na si ate. So, ayan, so kilala nila yung boyfriend ni ate. Eh ako, hindi naman ako nagpapakita sa side na yun. As in, sobrang rare occurrence lang magpakita ako. So, yun. Nung nakita ko nung lola ko. Ikaw, Kevin, may girlfriend ka na ba? Tapos, so syempre ako, I said yes. Tapos kasi di ba, yung lola ko medyo matanda na siya, so short-term memory loss. Not within 5 minutes, tinanong niya ulit, bro. And I was like, this is so awkward, bro.
Dapat the second time na tinanong ka na, dapat sinabi mo, may boyfriend po ako.
And then, I can't do that because there are people present na hindi ko kilala na apparently kamag-anak din daw namin.
All the better.
It was so awkward. I have to share things with these people I barely know. Pero yun, syempre siya, I shared, may girlfriend ako and tinanong pa nga yung pangalan eh. I was like, what? Why do you even ask the name? Pero syempre, sinabi ko na lang din sa, kasi lola ko yun eh. Anyway, yun lang.
Is this the same lola na nagmadyong?
Yes. Lupit nga, nagmamadyong pa siya eh.
Dahil yun hindi niya nakakalimutan eh, no?
Oo nga eh. And she was winning She was winning. Kasi yung mahjong table nila, di ba square yun? Tapos parang may mini drawer sa ilalim nun eh. May 4 drawers sa ilalim sa every side. Doon nila tinatago yung parang chips. Tapos, ayun, after nung game, binuksan niya yung yung drawer niya sa side niya. Ang daming chips, gago. She was winning. Anyway.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Ikaw, marunong ka ba magmahjong?
Hindi.
Pero sabi nila parang ano lang daw yun eh, di ba? Tongates.
Oo daw. Pero, ano pag nakikita ko yung ginagawa nila, it's like alien for me, pare.
Oo nga eh.
Very weird.
It's a Chinese thing, you know.
Ah.
Kasi yun yung side ng ano eh. Yung side ng family namin na Chinese eh. Yung sa father side. Yeah. Yan na. Tapos yung Spanish dito sa mother side ko naman.
Sa mother side.
Oh, come on! That's a lame excuse and you know it! You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now!
Kahit si Marianne.
Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
Yan no? Maybe some hunk will be your house husband pare. That's the dream, bro.
I volunteer.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Ayaw sa Mr. Right, pare. Ayaw sa, cupcake. Icing sa ibabaw ng cupcake, pare.
Ang weird din eh. Kasi diba, Mr. Right. Pero si Luke Right, bro. Diba? It's a foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, pare.
Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
8 points in charisma, pare. High riz.
Iris, pare. Iris cleric.
Oo nga eh. Unmentioned druids and demons once. They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
Yun, no?
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things. How do you know you don't have a ring anymore? Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
You know, ship it, bro. Ship it.
Ship it. Do it.
Two best girls.
Yes.
What
I'm
are you
over it.
on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
Oh, no.
Do it now. Do it
Do it.
now.
Scissors. I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So, when Kamala noticed my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers. Anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun times end. It's a weekday after all. And with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Oh, she's a nurse.
Oh.
Pam also has a loving fiance waiting for her at home and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him here before, obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and a lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet. And maybe I should go before he does look my way.
Whiskey ang puta. That's not whiskey. That's a
Baka-
wine glass. That's wine.
Oo. But maybe it's still whiskey. Wrong glass.
But it's red.
Well, it's brownish red. Anyway, then they said it's whiskey. because he was pretty and he was blonde, and those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. I thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
Praise God.
Man-child
Fancy a
terrorism.
drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Next on the page.
Ang ina man-child talaga eh.
So, fat chance. But it doesn't matter, we both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. Question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
Ano yung AMF? Adios, motherfucker?
What?
What's AMF? Yes, it's the adios, motherfucker. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Paano ka magsuot ng brief? Customary small talk, bro.
Ay. Tayo ng JC yan ang puta.
Best small talk ever.
Best small talk, para best small talk.
Right. Of course, the saying "ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies" goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the detail. Meanwhile, Mint, as she has come to call me, is 29 and I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster. Because fuck it, if I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. Yep. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. Maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. It would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
That's so. Saint Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she were so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes. What the fuck, bro? That hurt.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed by with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. Ang inang yan. Diba, yun nga yung main reason kung ba't niya tinanggal yung mata niya kasi, diba, people are too attracted to her gaze, her exquisite gaze. Binalik. Well, God works in mysterious ways. What a douche. Yeah. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, exactly my point. That only meant the suitors kept going after Lucy. She kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Well, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Help me with my
Not in
own...
this run.
Yeah, not in this run. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
Parang papatayin eh, no?
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
That. Ooh, journal update eh.
Wait, did we already make a choice?
Hindi pa. It's here.
Oh, yeah.
Iba lang.
Diyan nga pala sila mag-ano. Okay.
Yes. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I always made it home. Sometimes with the company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially with the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. The first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Hey Mac, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. That's where you're wrong. I'd like to say to myself that the men I've brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there is no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. As long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music, maybe in an Irish castle. But all I really want is her. That's never going to be a reality. That was my fault, of course, because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life. I had let her go. Can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait!
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now?
Yo.
What's it gonna be, Marianne? To sex or not to sex? That is the question.
To sex.
To sex, nothing, never.
Nothing. Never mind.
Boom! Ang laki ng bawas, boy!
Initak eh.
Kalahati, oh. Fuck you, Luke.
Fuck you, look.
To hell with it, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for the exact same reason I brought a man home before and the one before that. I didn't care about any of them, they were all nothing. Less than nothing. Bakit ano yun, no? Wait. Ay, pag-iyutan na nga tapos negative. Nag-negative. Bakit kaya
Siguro
ganun?
kasi it's gonna impact yung future interactions nila. It's gonna be more awkward.
Possibly. Or he's like the guy that we talked about earlier sa episode. Possibly.
Spicy.
Non-binary, bro.
Spicy.
For the listeners, kasi ano to, mas mauunang mapopost to, itong episode na to. For the listener. For the viewers, if you're curious about that, abangan nyo na lang yung latest podcast episode namin. Yan. Pag-usapan namin yun dun.
Yes, to be exact, that's gonna be episode 64. Sa mga nanonood na after na or sa future na mga manonood ito. That's episode 64 ng podcast namin. So yan.
Yes. Pero yeah. Less than nothing. We part for air and he all but rips my belt off without even bothering to take off his own jacket. We somehow make it safely into my bed and I don't even feel it as he pins me down. Feel it, Juts, pare, juts. Jutsi look, pare. Yun. This isn't about pleasure. Like, oh god, fuck me, I like it. Oh, nice. Nice achievement, bro. It is about punishment. There's nothing gentle about the kiss between us. It's all tongue, teeth, and roaming hands. There's no passion, only a need. I don't know about him, but I'm not doing this to feel good. I'm not some nymphomaniac who gets wet at the thought of bringing random strangers to my place for a lay. It's ridiculous how, under the professional facade I like to put up, I do these sordid things. Any of my clients can see the Marianne McCullough now, all boozed up and having rough sex with some bloke from the bar. Well, that's none of their fucking business, really. Yep. But still, everything after is a drunken blur. Not that there's much to remember in the first place. These one-night stands were always the same, empty, meaningless sex. Flesh coming together, smelling of booze and sweat.
Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Bigyan nagdasal ang puti.
Nagdasal lang.
What the fuck?
I'm too busy trying to remember her hands touching during it all. What? So she had sex. She had sex with her, past girl. Yeah.
I think hindi naman siguro sex. Siguro naghawakan lang sila ng
Nagawa na sila
suso.
ng mitts.
ng mitts.
I'm trying to remember her lips that kissed me. So they kissed.
They kiss.
How can I remember something? Oh, it never happened. Come on.
Baduy.
Not gonna lie, she had us at the first half.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. When all is said and done, all he have to say is,
You were saying something while we were at it. What were you mumbling?
pagod si parang Luke, pare. Nagdasal.
Nagdasal.
It was a prayer.
Yeah. It's a prayer.
Like,
Oh God, fuck me.
I like it.
Tangin ng mancheg ko.
Naging ano siya. Naging femboy siya dun saglit. I wanna hear that again.
Like,
Oh God, fuck me.
I like it.
Sabay yung lalim bigla. I like it.
Gago.
No, it was a real prayer. A prayer for forgiveness. Because as I lie down in my bed while he gets up to leave, I can feel my sins crawling on my back like spiders, filling me with their venom. I feel an itch that made me want to scratch my skin until it bleeds, while my heart pounds in my ears. Can't even register what whiskey says when he whisper his goodbye.
Thanks for the good time, Marianne.
Journal updated. Ano kayo nakalagay sa journal? Yun, no?
Yun, no?
The mornings after are always the loneliest. Although that I can simply brush off, I've already gone through several years of my life with only the fleeting company of others. Always nothing permanent. Ano naman yan? No? Hindi siya...
I need to... Ah, sorry po. Wait lang. I need to log out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
After her, there never was. I lived through this. The regret, though, it's the one that stays and weighs. But there is no time for self-pity. I have a job to get ready for. October 22nd, Saturday. It isn't often that I think about drinking on the job, but after meeting with the Wrights yesterday really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. Because first off, fucking damn whiskey was fucking damn Mr. Right. And to top it all off, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't own the Ermengarde mansion yet when they hired me. What sort of person does that?
Rich people.
Yep, rich people do that.
Rich people.
Yes. I could do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this, however. Twiddle my thumbs and wait for the go signal. Not like I can accept other smaller projects. This is a big job and I should be ready to start on it at any time. Not to mention that my PA practically begged me to be patient and wait this out. It was a hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Ermengarde mansion, not for anything or anyone else. I'd have a headache whatever I do anyway. I'd go to the pub again, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential client. And it might be a huge leap in logic, but a library is the next best thing after the pub. I have to go there anyway. I need more books for Dad, plus I also need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Finding a new book or two to read for myself while I have nothing to do isn't such a bad idea either. So on a Saturday morning, I find myself going to the only library in Luxbourne to hopefully cool off. After returning an Urzuli, the poetry book by Henry of Odebrady, I asked the librarian about the several titles on my list, though I don't have much luck on that front. Dialogue with Death has already been snatched, and she bluntly said that she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return books on time. Oh, sad. I make...
Medyo, bad
Okay.
girl. Bad girl.
Di ka nagbabalik ng mga libro. Pero may mga ganito pa kayang ngayon, no? Library ngayon, yung classic borrow and return, no? Ganun
Sa
pa.
US, I'm pretty sure meron pa.
Nung high school ako, ganun yung sa library namin eh. Borrow and
Sa amin
return.
din. Meron din ganun sa... Not sure ngayon kung meron pa dito sa Pilipinas ngayon.
Kung meron man, hindi na nabalik yung... Naubos na yung libro, hindi binabalik. Arbor na to, it's mine now.
Fun fact lang. Quick fun fact lang. Kasi, alam mo yung book fair? One time meron ako nakita doon sa book fair na kasi diba may mga nagbebenta ng libro din doon. One time may nakita akong binibenta ng libro doon, tapos pagka yung sinilip ko, meron siya nung yung lalagyan ng ng library card.
Yung card.
Yung parang pocket, yung parang pocket. It's very curious. Ba't siya may ganun?
Ninakatos ni Rizel.
Oh my.
Ay, ba yun? Gagantin din nun.
Very weird.
Anyway, I make headway at least when I ask about Siege and Rendition of Havana by Jacobo de Pezuela. You count her snarling and pointing at the history section as headway, that is. And she snarling. The history section is devoid of any other except for myself and a redhead, though I'd wager a guess that red's just passing by to get to the classical literature section. So many books, so little time. Scanning the books and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. And that's when I spot it.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
The History of Luxborn Architecture, 1st edition. Not the naval battle book I was looking for, no, it's even better. The newly acquired History of Luxborn Architecture, 1st edition too. I know I just have to get it. I have been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. The fact that there is only one copy proves to be a problem though, when Red reaches out for it the same time as I do.
I think I had this first, miss.
Why are you mad?
Galit agad eh.
Oh nga.
Kaya Rebecca.
I can only stare her down when she refuses to let go of the book. Refusing to let go of it as well, I raise a brow at her in the hopes that the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate the girl. Even then, she refused with a rebellious look.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss. I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
A beat. She blinks and I can't help the smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pierce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and the Irish Houses of Parliament. This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
That is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest. Nakahanap siya ng katapat niya, pare.
Oo, pare.
Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? Aside from me, anyway.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Suddenly, it's a game where we throw these history questions and facts at each other, back and forth in hushed tones unless we want to be thrown out of the library. After a while, it goes from some strange competition into this strange but friendly banter, if it could be called that. But as fun as it is, the exchange soon slows down until we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Likes potatoes, Patty.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
Rebecca Gales.
Ang introduction niya ng
Oh
puto.
my. By then, we had forgotten about our little tug of war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I had let go of it without realizing when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, Saint Goretti. You'd think a school would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students.
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
I could have said that I was an architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore. Ano pa, nadebar. Nadebar. Gumuho yung ginawa niyang ano pare. Building.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
It is, yes.
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things.
That's true. Very true. Hope there's no man-children here.
Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
Oh, so that's who Goretti is.
Oh, sino nga pala si Saint Goretti? Why? What did she do? Is it a she or a he?
It's a she. Maria Teresa Goretti is an Italian virgin martyr of the Catholic Church. One of the youngest saints to be canonized. She was born from a farming family. Her father died when she was 9. Family had to share a house with another family. So she's an Italian virgin martyr.
Did she do anything like? Is there something?
She is the patron saint of chastity, rape victims,
Oh,
girls, youth, teenage girls, poverty, purity, and forgiveness. That's very contradicting.
bakit?
Chastity and rape victims.
Oo nga eh. Yeah. Well. Bakit siya naging patron saint of rape victims? Did she get raped in her boy pa siya?
I'm still looking into it though. Pero that's the forefront of Google when you search for Saint Goretti. So yeah, you can proceed. I'll check pa
Pero
din.
yeah, it is indeed kind of weird to name a high
Oo nga eh.
school Saint Goretti. Anyway,
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Intach. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it. Now that is beautiful architecture.
a pause. It looks like she wants to say something at my mention of the house. I'm not surprised. That place is certainly popular with the locals, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In the next second, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet? I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly iTabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
Traditional. The computer back at my place is all I have. Why would I buy such an expensive gadget that will just get outdated within the year when what I have is just as functional? Maayos desisyon sa buhay ba?
Omshim. Tama. Magaling.
The traditional ways had a far more personal touch, in my opinion. Not to mention those smartphones are awful tools of procrastination. I can't even count on is there new development on Saint Goretti?
Yes. So apparently, when she was 11 years old, someone, or I think Alessandro, someone who's 20-year old, made sexual advances to her, tried to rape her basically, and she refused, saying that it's a sin, and he stabbed her 14 times.
Oh lol.
And she died.
So she was ilang taon siya? What?
11 years old.
11 years old siya namatay?
Yes.
What? And then she became a saint?
Yes.
Wow. Holy shit, that's so sad.
And the thing is, she was stewing. Nagtatahi lang siya. Tapos, yun, Alessandro, the one who made the advance, just came at her. Then, ayun, started touching her. Then she started protesting. Yeah, saying,
This is
no,
a sin, mister. You will go to hell.
God does not want this. Then
So,
he
yeah.
started stabbing her, not with his dick, but apparently a knife.
So, yeah. Well, it's ano na rin pala, nangyayari na rin pala yun dati pa, simula, like, back then.
Oo nga.
Anong year ba yan? Like, 1600?
Uh,
15?
1890s.
1800. So, yeah.
Pero ano rin eh, it's very, very old time na rin.
Oh, yeah, it's
1800s.
old, yep. Anyway, so sad. I can't even count on one hand the number of people I see going outside only to have their eyes glued to the things. And fuck touchscreens. They're evil things that make typing what should have been a simple task harder.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can.
Speaking or thinking of the devil seems to have summoned it. Because before I can even carry on, Rebecca's attention wanes as she pulls out her mobile. For what I can only assume is a call, she gives me an apologetic look before she's standing up and excusing herself off farther into the aisles as she goes, for some privacy. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Belle, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far. I can be there in 10.
But with how quiet the surrounding is, you can't blame me if I overhear snippets of her conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that our friendly chat has to be cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even
Oops.
Oh,
apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to History of Luxborn architecture. I don't give her time to think about it as I put a hand up and shake my head, fishing out a pen and paper from my bag along with one of my business cards. I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it. But you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work, penning her number down and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course.
Okay, jiggle physics.
You have a good day then.
You too.
With Rebecca gone, I'm left alone standing in the history section. Although my original plans were simply to sit down and read a good book, our little pop quiz, if you could call it that, made the time pass by without any of us realizing it. It was fun, and I do believe I made a new friend. Good job, Marianne. Yeah, new friend.
yeah, good job.
Even with the talk of lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There are still other books to be read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like How to Deal with Assholes Professionally 101, just in case. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, nudie, and rich clients before, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the fucking cake. He probably manages to eat it too. Seems the world is conspiring to keep me from my me time as my mobile vibrates in my pockets the moment I find something from the shelves of the classic literature section.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Charlie Rose Designs.
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything. But but I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents. Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How did they go through the process so fast? Money.
Mula.
Mula.
Power. Connections.
Yes, sir. Surely there is so many red tape to even acquire the forms in the transferring of rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
I don't
Cheers.
know. Just don't. Ba't kaya ganun yung ano nila? Cheers. Cheerio.
Cheerio. I don't know. Pero doon sa sa last or previous client ko, yun din yung preferred nila. Diba usually regards, best wishes.
Ending.
Cheers yung preferred nila na
Sa ano yun? Sa call or sa email?
Both.
Both. Okay. I'll use that then. Since diba yung client ko is taga-UK. Alam mo ba yun? Ang client ko taga-UK. And kaya kay Kura na rin. Cheers!
Kay Kura. Cheers, Mike!
Cheers, Mike!
Ay, naging Australia ng puta.
Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been what? A day? Less than that, even. There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be larger than life. They're all updated. I guess it's the book.
The book.
Oh, God. Mong bata sila dito.
Cute na yun na dyan, ni Rebecca Boy.
Oo nga eh. Mukha siyang bata eh.
Ako siya estudyante po.
As it looks like I'm on the clock starting today, I might as well eat. Grabbing some fish and chips from one of the street food stalls, I find a table to spend time with a copy of Marquis de Sade's The Crime of Love, since Rebecca left with the book I wanted. I've read this one before, along with the rest of his works. This would be the 18th time, in fact. But it's always nice to read through it again when I don't have the time to enjoy something new. Besides, when you're dealing with people so filthy rich that they just end up plain filthy, you need the good old Marquis sound advice.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune sorte de conséquence.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune. Ikaw.
Ayoko.
Nakalimutan ko. Aucune sorte de conséquence. What's salt? Let's hear.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune sorte de conséquence.
Consequence. So, ano ibig sabihin yan?
La Troba. Hindi ko alam.
Hulaan mo lang. Dali. What's your best guess?
Kasi yung last, it's pretty obvious. Consequence.
Yes, consequence.
So, La blessure se trouvant. Every action has a consequence.
Possibly. Let's find out. Oh, almost.
A wound being without any consequence. What?
The wound being without any consequence. Of course, it's folly to think that things have no consequence when everything actually does. Briar Realty Corporation's Luxbourne branch isn't too far off from the city center, a few blocks away, and I can easily eat and walk. I'd rather use this time to rest before I go into a flurry of activity. No doubt there'll be so much to do once we get hands-on with the mansion.
Still a lot better than working on another condo, at least.
Surely, no matter how much BRC and the old owners put into the restoration and preservation of the place, Any big repairs would be superficial at most. I'm quite certain that in their haste to sell the property, they did a rush job. It isn't an infrequent thing to do despite how it is frowned upon. There'll be a lot of hidden issues that I will need to weed out, and I have to make sure I find every single one of them, especially the more serious damages. Structural integrity is definitely on top of the list we will have to consider. The building might look sturdy, but it is centuries old. That alone will likely pose a few problems here and there, but limitations on what we can do. Besides, despite how much I detest these rich snobs, they can pay rather handsomely so long as I do an excellent job and do more than necessary. Those two things always made sure the referrals keep coming. I don't even have to hunt down projects for myself. When I do go up to BRC's office, I can't help but stop and stare when I enter the building. With the lunch hour closing, employees should have been back already if they still aren't filtering through the doors. I get that it's a Saturday, that people probably feel tired and lazy to be working on a weekend. But they're still on the clock and not bumming about wasting company time on extended lunch breaks and cigarette sessions. The office is spacious as it is with these big corporations. Each person is given their little space of what's usually a 2 by 2 meter cubicle. There's a lot more empty chairs than there are actual people working at their desks. It reminds me far too much of my last day at Paris Pova projects during the massive layoffs due to the Irish economic crisis. But it isn't just that though. Everything is as quiet as a grave. It's as if these people are merely ghosts. Eh. Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes in through the door looking as if she's just seen one. He did. Ito yung ano yun, right after nung nakita niya yung ghost sa shopping window.
Ay,
Shop
oo.
window.
After nila mag-lunch.
Yes. He looks at me, wide-eyed, like a deer caught in the headlights, ready to bolt at any moment. Ooh, story updated. What's that? Yeah. I'd ask out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. What if it's something personal? I'd simply be overstepping my boundaries. Really, it's none of my business.
I presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch, you know? But it won't take too long. Don't worry.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
He flinches and looks like she doesn't quite know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way towards her station and goes to fetch the floor plans. It won't take too long, as she said, but it does take a bit. Time spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
I prefer the real thing.
Not that you would know. But that's so mean.
Judgmental. Judgmental ka, best grill, ah.
Oh, nga.
I like it.
I like it. Very good. Judger.
Judger.
You probably have your nose stuck in front of a smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working, playing those mindless addictive games. I definitely wish Chris would stop playing that cat thingy during work hours too.
I know what you mean. Digital painting is nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint.
Addict.
Addict.
Tumisikot ng pintura.
Wait lang, ah. If I can remember correctly, hindi ba nauna yung ano nila? Yung meeting nila sa park?
I'm unsure. Let's check the journal. 17, ito yung party. There, things. Dito yung first day ni Isabella.
Oh.
The open house. Open house. The party. No,
Happy
no.
Hindi, yun yung ano, yung gift.
The gift, yeah.
The gift.
The movie.
The mansion. Tapos yung movie.
Oh, tumawag si Mama. Ito yung kanina lang sa library. Ito yung The Bribe. Then the Ghost.
So hindi nga.
So,
So,
hindi.
nauna nga to kaysa dun sa...
Pero alam ko na sa ano. Ayun, ito. So, it is
ayun
the next
So,
day.
kinabukasan. Okay.
Isabella met the interior designer, which is the cat's owner. Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, tomorrow, Rose dies. Spoiler.
Not that I go and smell paint like a crazy person, but you know, the real thing is different.
Oh, no. You already established that you're a paint sniffer. Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
Checking out the floor plans, I see that I'll have a lot going for me. Now I know how Ray felt when he found the Central Park West building floor plans from that one movie. What movie? Let's check the floor. And I remember. Oh, there goes dining hall. Parlor. So dito sila kumain ni Hannah. Ito
Ito si
yung
Vinny.
minibar.
Ah.
May banyo pala sa minibar. That restroom. Yes, a parlor.
Okay.
And I'm guessing this is just like sink or whatever. From the parlor, there you go to the music room. Laki ng music room no? Pang performance or ano ba?
Oo. Sa mini orchestra. Ano ba? Mini venue.
Oh, parang ganun. Kitchen. Wine cellar. Oh, so that's where the wine cellar is.
Where?
Dito sa kitchen. Tapos yun, parang yung mini square. Di mo pala kasi nakita yung mouse ko.
Hindi. Ayun. See this.
The hall, quarters. Pero medyo ano to I did study architecture before, yes, but I'm no pro. But medyo ang hassle para sa kasi usually yun tinuro sa amin dati sa architecture. Yung kung meron kang maid quarters or yun, servant quarters in their time, yun. Pag mayaman yung tawag na servant. Anyway, pag meron kang quarters for your helpers, usually dapat malapit siya sa kitchen. Hindi, it's too far away kasi from your quarters pupunta na hall, dadaan ka pa ng ballroom. Either bababa ka dito sa foyer, tapos papuntang dining to the kitchen. Diba? Tapos yung, kunyari, may parking space. Dapat magkakatabi yun or yun. Kitchen, quarters, and dapat accessible through the parking space. Para if ever, kunyari, groceries. Park ka doon, groceries. Pasok agad sa kitchen. Then yung helpers mo, they can like assist immediately. Parang yung parang yung overall flow ng bahay, parang yung tinatawag dun. Kaya nga before we like draw the floor plan itself, gumagawa kami ng parang bubble flow chart, parang mga bilog-bilog lang na yun, para makita namin yung general flow, para magka-idea kami kung saan namin ilalagay yung mga different house. So yeah, that's it. Yun lang.
Very interesting.
Small, fun facts. And nakinig din ako. At one point, I was quite serious with it, with architecture. Kasi believe it or not, nung isa yearbook ko, nung grade 7 ako, kasi di ba parang picture mo, tas sa baba parang yung message mo or yung ano ba pangarap mo sa buhay, di ba? Parang ganun. Apparently, I did put there that I wanted to become an architect.
Oh, lol.
Oh. Alam ko nandito sa akin yung ano eh. Nandito sa bahay yung yearbook kong yun. Try ko hanapin, tas picturean ko. Send ko sa inyo. Well. Grade 7 me does not know that yet. It won't happen. Pero yun lang. Anyway, yeah. Conference room, may theater sila, study room, bedroom, master's bedroom. Or something so big like a mansion, di ba mansion eh. Dalawa lang yung bedroom. Kasi di ba usually yung mga mansion, marami silang bedroom, like 8 bedrooms. O ganun.
Oo, ano.
Dalawa lang
Kasi,
meron. Masters and
If I remember correctly, meron pa sinasabi si Hana na other bedrooms nung nag-usap sila ni ano,
Oh, ito ata yun sa kabilang wing, di ba sabi niya.
kabilang wing. Nga. So, dalawa lang yung bedroom.
Not to shit on the mansion, but yung first floor hallway nila, too damn big, bro. Too damn big. Di ba? Kalahati lang yan, okay na eh, for a hallway. Then you can, like, I don't know, lakihan mo yung theater or yung conference rooms, I guess, or put other rooms. I don't know. I'm not the architect of this one. Anyway, moving on. Nabasa ko na yan. This is why I became an architect in the first place. Jacobean style at its finest, a thing of beauty. Look at these gorgeous rooms, the delicate harmony between empty spaces. And speaking of empty spaces, there's something rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger. Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem. And it is an old house.
There had been little details here and there that I would have liked to address during the open house too. But it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos' incident and the trouble with ownership. The wine cellar is going to be a problem. I shudder to think what sort of repairs they did to the place. There might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed to the dark corner of the rooms, and hidden away in barrels. Water damage could have been covered up. There had been floods due to heavy rains in West England just last year, after all. If there's any sort of damage to the house's foundation, that's going to be a lot of work. I was not able to look at the attic as well. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nest there. Working with pest control is always the worst. Not vermin, a ghost.
Ando si Amisha, pare.
Oh,
Ando si Hugo.
Oh, siya si Hugo. Rats. The sheer size of this place is staggering, even if I did just say it was a lot smaller than I thought. I might just be biting off more than I can chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? First things first, I'll have to...
So, do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John. I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
Nagtanong ka pa. Nagyaya ka pa. Meron ka na rin pala diyan. Dapat nilapag mo na lang. Oh, ito kape. Di ba? Nagtanong pa siya. I have to stamp down my annoyance at being distracted. Seeing the girl, the young woman though, it looks like she has a lot on her mind. If babbling is her way of dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. How should I respond? Of course, we be good to Isabella. She's a very good person. And mataas na rin yung ano natin yun.
Oh, gagongan.
I think if we do this, angat mapupuno.
Could be. Or I think, no, we need one more, I think.
Kasi, of course this one. Napuno.
Napuno.
Hey, I give her time to speak up. But when she just stares, I clear my throat.
Yes? You have something to say?
As embarrassment creeps up on her face, I snatch one of the coffees from her and take a sip. Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record, it must be fun what you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
It's a little bit more complex than that. But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
What's the update? Go the upper route. Also, we go the longer route.
On.
I didn't expect to hear such question from her, seeing how well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt then why she was assigned to an important sale like the Ermengarde mansion, despite the little accident she had. Now she just looks too young, too nervous, and unsure of herself, although her enthusiasm must make up for that in spades. In fact, I wouldn't have believed it if she had introduced herself the way she is at the moment. Why, watching her now, she actually looks like she should still be in college. Yep, she is. She should.
Yes. She should be.
Acts a bit like it too when I think about it. I thought she was a teen slumming it out in the mansion when I first saw her there, lying on the ground. Surprise, surprise, she turned out to be one of the estate agents handling the property.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice.
Alam mo naman, nakatulog lang, di ba? Pagod yung ahente. dun natulog.
If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
Cool, yeah, cool.
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
What does that mean?
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
Hey,
And yet here you are, selling property. Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
Jerry's.
that's a very good roast. Tayo. Weren't a very fine student of the arts. Nice. Maybe.
Wait, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Maybe I took that a bit too far. Bites her cheek and it looks like she's barely holding herself back.
It's not like I had a choice.
She mutters it under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there. And it makes one wonder what brought it on. Although it is understandable, if for a reason what I think it is, very few people make it big in the art world. I can see why she'd be upset about it with that enthusiasm. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that or years of unemployment. The recession and the toll it took in the construction industry was out of anyone's control. I don't know what choice she wasn't able to make, whether it was about her being at art school or something else. But the world isn't a fair place. And the sooner she accepts it, the better. Still, with that forlorn look on her face, I can't help but sigh. Girl reminds me far too much of myself when I was younger.
Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not. I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
I'm not a paint huffer, sheesh. I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it. The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about.
Oh, how bold of you to speak the truth.
If you
Kaya pala
really want to
kinabukasan,
practice
kumuha siya
art,
ng ano.
a little out of your wallet isn't
Oo nga, no?
much.
Siguro yun nga yung parang parang nag-trigger doon, no? What? Let's do art again. Marianne's right. The best girl's right. This is my passion.
It's not that simple.
It's not. Life's simple. People just like to make it complex.
I'm shrimp.
Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid.
Grow up, kids.
Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else. That is unless you enjoy making yourself miserable, then by all means.
You know, if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
Na-hurt siya, pare. Oof.
Would you
Good hurts,
have left
pare,
me
good
alone?
hurts.
We'll never know now, will we?
Yeah, we will never know now. A strained air settles in the room afterward. The floor plan. Yes.
The floor plan.
It doesn't help that she doesn't immediately leave, as she has said, lingering awkwardly by the door with that downcast expression. It's clear there's more she means to say, perhaps even to defend herself and her choices in life. Or is she expecting me to dish out more of that advice? An awkward affair, and I choose to hightail out of the realty office as quick as I can. I don't know. I think this is a good stopping point. Sakto, 1 hour 30 minutes.
Oh, sakto. Good stopping point. Good stopping point.
Best grill. Hold on. Where are we? We made a decent chunk, like 1/3.
Oh,
Oh,
1/3.
1/3.
Yeah, 1/3.
Bilis lang pala eh. Then,
Pero surprisingly, it's just 1% pa
oo
lang.
nga, 1% lang. Dami mga thingies. Anyway, we'll see kung ilang percent. Kay Zach ang konti. Anyway,
Oo nga, 30 na.